Welcome, everybody. If you're logging in right now, I'm super pumped that you're here to create, connect, and share with us. This next 30 minutes, we're just trying to get everybody logged on and registered. You might be saying, Melody, I'm already registered, but this is more like the registration. Hey, I'm here today. I'm ready to create, connect, share. You can do this two different ways. You can go to this bit.ly that's right here on your screen, bit.ly/create, connect, share. Or it's linked on your opening agenda and highlighted in yellow. So get comfy, get some coffee, and be ready for some major awesomeness today. Welcome, all you Kentucky Go Digital peeps. I see some of you joining in. I want you to grab some coffee, get comfy, and be ready for some major off-the-chart awesome coming your way today. These next few minutes, we're getting everybody logged in, making sure everyone's registered. You can register by going to this bit.ly, create, connect, share. It's also linked on your morning agenda slide, highlighted yellow. Some other things you can be doing while you're waiting for everyone else to log in. If you would like to send out some tweets, retweet the YouTube live link. Let's blow up Twitter today, and we're even going to have some Twitter challenges. So hope you all get comfy and get ready to create, connect, and share with us. morning, Kentucky Go Digital peeps. So excited that you're joining us today and you're ready to create, connect, share, because we have lots of awesomeness in store for you. Get comfy, grab some coffee, do whatever you need to do to be rocking and rolling today. Got another 20 minutes. We're just letting everybody log in, letting everyone get registered to let us know that you're ready to connect today. You can either type in this bit.ly in one of your browser tabs, bit.ly/create, connect, share. This registration's also linked on your opening slide. You may be saying, Melody, I've already registered. I know this registration's just more like an I'm here this morning. It's also what's going to be linked to the shareback form this afternoon, which in turn is going to be linked to your PD and ELA certificate. So it's pretty important stuff there. A couple other things you can be doing while you're waiting for the 8:30 kickoff is you can be tweeting out. We are going to blow up the hashtag KYGOD Digital. So tweet out what you're excited about today. We've also got some Twitter challenges in store that are going to be lots of fun for us today. The other thing you can do is share the YouTube live link. Let's get everybody joining in on this awesomeness. Good morning, Kentucky Go Digital peeps. I see lots of you all logging in and joining in the chat. So super pumped to see you all and be connecting with you today. Here's some things you can be doing while we're waiting for everyone else to log in. We'll kick this thing off at 8:30. One of the things you can be doing is going ahead and go into this bit.ly and this bit.ly/create, connect, share. That's kind of like the form that says, hey guys, I'm here today and I'm ready to connect with you all and be a part of this awesomeness. It's what's linked to the shareback form this afternoon because we want your feedback. It's also what's linked to your PD and ELA certificate. So pretty important in that respect. A couple other things you can be doing. This YouTube live link, feel free to tweet it out, send it to your friends. We'd love to grab everybody on board because it's going to be pretty cool, and we want to make sure that we share it. One other thing, we're going to blow up the Kentucky Go Digital hashtag today, hashtag KYGOD Digital. So feel free to get on Twitter and share. We've got several Twitter challenges that we'll be participating in that are going to be lots of fun. So those three things, plus grab your cup of coffee, get comfy, and be ready for one awesome day. Good morning, everyone. We're so excited to have you connecting with us here today. Get ready, grab some coffee, get comfy, and be ready for some rockin' awesome learning and sharing today. A couple of things you can be doing while you're waiting for 8:30 to roll around. One of the things you can do is go to this bit.ly that's here on the screen. It's bit.ly/create-connect-share. That's kind of the I'm here and I'm ready to connect with you guys today. That's what's going to be linked to the share back form this afternoon. It's also what's going to be linked to your PD and ELA certificate. So that's pretty important. The second place you can find that I'm here registration form is on your opening agenda. It's highlighted yellow there as well. We're going to be having some rockin' fun on Twitter today. We're going to be blowing up the KYGO Digital hashtag. It's hashtag KYGO Digital. Go ahead and share what you're excited. Just let us know that you're here. We'll be doing that. We've got some Twitter challenges throughout the day that we're going to have lots of fun with. And the other thing you can do is share the link to the YouTube Live. Let's get everyone joining in. All right, we'll get this thing kicked off here in a little while. Good morning, everyone. It's so awesome to see you guys. I see lots of you all joining in either by the number of watching now or the chat. We do have one question on the chat, and I figured that was coming. It's like, hey, I've already registered. Do I need to register again? Yes, this is the registration form that says, hey, I'm here this morning. I'm ready to connect with you guys and have one awesome day. So if you can go to this bit.ly/create-connect-share, you can see that on your screen. Or you can go to the link, which is on your opening agenda. It's also highlighted in yellow. Either way, that's how you're going to get your feedback, or we call the share back form this afternoon, which is also then going to be linked to your PD and ELA certificate. So it's pretty important for several reasons. So while you're waiting for everyone else to log in and join in the fun, go ahead and do that. The other thing you can be doing is tweeting out using hashtag KYGO Digital. We're going to blow it up today. Let us know why you're excited to be here. Go ahead and send out the YouTube live link so others can join in. The other thing you can do is grab your favorite cup of joe, get comfy on your couch, on your patio, with your school buddies, wherever you are connecting with us today. Go ahead and get comfy and be ready for one awesome day. We'll kick off here in about 10 minutes. Good morning, Kentucky Go Digital peeps. Looks like we're up to 155 people joining us. Lots of you all already chatting and connecting in the YouTube chat. So happy to see that. While we're waiting, we've got 5 minutes left until we kick this awesomeness off. While you're waiting, you can do a couple of things. First of all, you need to make sure that you go to this bit.ly link. It's bit.ly/create-connect-share. You see it on your screen right now. That's the form that tells us that you are here today and you're ready to connect. It's the form that's going to give you our share back form this afternoon. It's also what your PD and ELA certificates are connected to, so that's pretty important. The other way you can access this same form is on your opening agenda. It's linked there and also highlighted yellow. A couple other things you can be doing. We're going to blow up the KYGO Digital hashtag on Twitter today. It is literally hashtag KYGO Digital. So go ahead and tweet out that you're here and ready to create, connect, and share today. Tell us why you're super pumped about it. You can also on Twitter, Facebook, however you'd like, email. You can send out the YouTube live link to our opening session so others can join in. So let's rock this. We will kick this off in 4 minutes.
I know. Is there a microphone here? Yeah, we did. She's a.
Good morning, Kentucky Go Digital peeps. Think that it is time to get this party started. Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you to the first ever KYGO Digital Virtual Regional Event. We are super pumped about this day. We know that it's going to be one rockin' awesome day for Kentucky educators and Kentucky students. And so the first thing that I want to do is go ahead and welcome your tour guides for the day, because this is certainly a team effort. And so we're going to hop over here, excuse me, and give our team a chance. First of all, good morning. My name is Melody Stacy. You all have heard from me at minimum through email. And some of you all have been connecting with me on Twitter, which is super awesome. So I'm so excited. I'm 21 years into being a passionate and positive educator. I've spent lots of my career as a high school math teacher, visited middle school for a while as an assistant principal. And now here I am being the lead learner at Taylor Mill Elementary School in Kenton County in Northern Kentucky. So really super pumped about our team and want to go ahead and send it over to them so that they can introduce themselves. Angie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Angie White, and I'm the digital learning.
Angie, make sure you've unmuted yourself.
Is it unmuted now? So I'm Angie White. I'm the digital learning coach in Oldham County, Kentucky. And
let's see, Angie, we can't hear you. Oh, yeah. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I've got my music. That's my fault, guys. I'm sorry. All right. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that was me. That was me.
I'm Angie White. I'm the digital learning coach in Oldham County, Kentucky. And I've been involved in technology and education for 25 plus years. And I'm super excited to be a part of this today and can't wait to learn from everybody. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Angie. And now we'll switch it over to Faith.
Okay, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep, we got it, Faith. Yep.
Gotcha. Hello, I'm Faith Stroud. I'm the principal at the Robert Frost 6th Grade Academy, where one of the things we're known for is being one-to-one with Chromebooks.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Faith. Appreciate you and your leadership with all of this. And it looks like we've got Miss Amy Razor here online. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to her and let her introduce herself.
Hey, I'm going to do the sound test too. Can you hear me?
Yep, we're good.
Hey. All right, I'm Amy Razor. I'm the executive director at Northern Kentucky Cooperative, and we're actually a roadie spot today, so I have some roadies with me. And and we're just excited to be a part of the team because they have been incredible. I've never seen so many emails fly over the weekend like I have with this team. So it's so exciting to see the synergy in this team.
Thank you, Amy. Really appreciate you and all of your support. First of all, I was going to say this later, but I probably should just go ahead and say it now. This was our first ever regional virtual event. And so, when you take risks and fly closer to the sun, some things are going to happen. So we already know this. We're just embracing it with grace and humor today, and we'll roll with the punches because it is going to be one awesome day. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen with everyone here and get back over to our shout outs for the day. I would mention too, we've got Adam Watson. He's not on our Google Hangout yet, but Adam Watson is from Shelby County and also been on our Northern Kentucky planning team. They have been the regional planning team extraordinaire, and them, along with the state planning teams, would not have been able to do this without them. A couple other shout outs before we get going today. This event and KYGO Digital would not be what it is today if it weren't for Heather Worrell, who is our lead Purple Cow. She is incredible and inspiring. If you've not connected with her, you need to do that. So a big shout out to her and the rest of the state Kentucky Go Digital team. They never cease to amaze me about how remarkable they are for our state and education and our students. Big shout out to our co-op. Amy is the executive director of NKCES, and her, along with the rest of her crew, have been nothing but supportive and amazing of this venture, amazing support for this venture. So huge shout out to our Northern Kentucky co-op. Also, just our regions, Northern Kentucky and beyond, Shelby, Oldham, Jefferson, all of you guys, Hardin County. When we first started rolling this out, trying to explain it to administrators, there were lots of questions, of course. But never once was I met with doubt or hesitation, only just positive. How can we help? Let's do this. This is an amazing opportunity for our educators. So huge shout out to all of our regions, administrators, and educators. Big, massive applause for our leaders today. If we were doing this person to person, I would say in the auditorium, hey guys, why don't all you leaders stand up? So y'all can stand up if you want, wherever you are. And then we're all going to give them a big round of applause. Yay. Hope you all can feel that. Listen, they are being courageous today. We're all sort of nervous and excited about if this is going to go well and how all this works. And so big shout out to them for being willing to connect and share what they've created. And the last shout out and woohoo goes to each of you for being willing to take a risk and see what virtual PD is all about and what KYGO Digital is all about. So really appreciate each of you guys being here and spending your day with us. So at KYGO Digital, we are all about creating, connecting, and sharing. And let me tell you, I'm a self-professed nerd. I can geek out over the latest tech tool like nobody's business. But when you talk about creating these innovative experiences, connecting us through events like this, so that we can share that innovation and investing in digital learning, that's really when I get pumped up. And so at KYGO Digital, when we talk about creating, connecting, and sharing, it is about all of that, those digital tools and that innovation. But make no doubt about it, what we're really about is our end game, our Kentucky students. So whether you're talking about digital tools to amplify school culture, whether you're talking about digital tools to empower our leaders, teachers, when all of that goes down and affects our students and helps amplify their success, that's where the money is. So our end game is always our Kentucky students. Another thing that we're relentless about here at KYGO Digital is shattering the silos. So I want you to think about it for a second, because I'm going to go ahead and challenge your thinking. What silo have you been working in the past, or are you currently working in? And let me explain this. Silos are things like the four walls in our classroom. You go in there, you shut your door, you do your thing. You might be great at it, but you're working in a silo. What about that filing cabinet that you have? When you take those pieces of paper and you put them away, you're not sharing them with anybody. You're not collaborating. Those filing cabinets are silos. What about email? Back and forth communication. Email is a huge silo. So I'm going to go ahead and start challenging you today to think about what silo that you, me, her, him, what silos do we have existing? Are you connected to a professional learning network? Because we're going to go ahead and get you to shatter those silos today. And you say, why? Why? What's wrong with the silo, Melody? Well, because silos are isolating. They just perpetuate mediocrity. They're inefficient. And when we start shattering the silos, when we start getting out of those and connecting to others and collaborating and sharing, then we become more efficient. We amplify our ideas. And all of a sudden that mediocrity turns on into this like awesome fire. And you know who's going to benefit? Guess what? Hashtag endgame, our students. So let's go ahead and start shattering those silos. In fact, I will give a shout out to all those people on YouTube chat that have already started it. You guys are like already connecting through that YouTube chat saying, hey, I do one-to-one. If we want to connect later and talk about that, wouldn't that be awesome? And you're sharing your Twitter handles. That's what connected educators do. So huge shout out to you guys. You all are already silo shatterers. So we're going to kick off our first silo shattering, that's a tongue twister, challenge for the day. So challenge number 1 for today, we've got 3 in store for you. So this whole KYGO digital virtual thing is new. It's pretty cool. I've already had people saying, hey, Melody, this is awesome. I'm like PDing in my pajamas on my couch. How awesome is that? It is. So are you PDing in your PJs? You have a patio PD going on? Maybe you're connecting and hanging out with some friends. I know we've got some of you over there in Kenton County who's all about that today. So big shout out to them. So why don't you go ahead, take a selfie, show us how you're doing the KYGO Digital Virtual today, and then tweet it out. Make sure you include hashtag KYGO Digital, and you'll have a chance to win a KYGO Digital laptop sticker. So let's blow up that KYGO Digital hashtag today with our challenges, and anything that you're learning, anything that's inspiring you, go ahead and share it with others, because that's what we do to get connected. So as Seth Godin says, the key to success is to find a way to stand out, to be the purple cow in a field full of monochrome Holsteins. So I also want to challenge you today to think about how you can stand out. How can you be remarkable? After all, every single one of our Kentucky students not only need it, but they deserve it. So one of the things, I'll go ahead and give you a peek to this afternoon. We're going to have a tweet beam running with all of our tweets that are on our hashtag. So go ahead and make sure those get sent out, and you'll show up on our tweet beam wall later. So let's go ahead and start thinking about how we can take that me, you, him, her, and make it us, because we are the Kentucky Go Digital Tribe. It's up to us to shatter those silos. Alone, we are smart. Together, we are brilliant. So get ready, guys. We're going to fly closer to the sun today. Fasten your seatbelts. You are in for a ride. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce Miss Beth Houf today, who's joining us for our keynote. She's going to get us kicked off in Lead Like a Pirate style. Beth is passionate about developing schools that encourage high levels of learning and empowerment for all, schools where students and staff are running to get in, not out. To do so, Beth seeks out fun and meaningful ways to interact with students and teachers so they are excited about coming to school. Wearing costumes, singing karaoke, or breaking out some original dance moves as she enthusiastically greets students each morning, or providing innovative learning time and celebrations for her staff so they feel rejuvenated and excited about teaching is common practice for Beth. Beth Houf is a middle school principal in Central Missouri. She also serves as a facilitator for the DESE Leadership Academy, providing monthly training to state educational leaders. She has spoken at the International Society for Technology and Education, or ISTE conference, the Association for Middle Level Education National Conference, and many state and local educational venues. She is also active in her local, state, and national elementary principal associations. Beth has also been a guest lecturer at William Woods University, Westminster University, and the University of Missouri. Beth was named a Missouri Exemplary New Principal in 2011 and the Missouri National Distinguished Principal for 2016. And I have to be honest with you guys, I'm going to try not to fangirl too much here because I'm connected with Beth through Twitter. I've talked to her through Twitter chats. I've read her book, and she is one of my edu sheroes. Whenever I leave, after being connected with her, she always leaves me inspired and feeling like I can conquer the world. So I'm super excited to have Beth here today. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Beth Houf.
All right. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
We're good.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that amazing welcome. My name is Beth Houf, and I am the very proud principal here at Fulton Middle School, where I am today. I was so nervous about doing this because I've never done a digital online keynote And so I had to come to my office, my safe place to do technology. But with that, I want to talk about flying close to the sun. I also have, my door is shut and locked right now because my 8-year-old is sitting out in the other office with our dog. Of course, it had to work out that the dog had to go to the groomer today, and my husband's out of town. So if you hear like barking, if you're not imagining it, it really is my dog. Or if you hear an 8-year-old screaming, he's okay. I promise. I've got him food and water. He's all right. So I am so excited to be here today. And when I heard about this opportunity, wow, you guys are really taking risks and going outside the box, which is what we're all about in Pirate Land. For those of you that are not sure about what Pirate is, it is all about passion, immersion, rapport, asking and analyzing, transformation, and enthusiasm. And I want to tell you a little bit, for those of you who don't know that my story, I started out as a teacher and I loved teaching. Oh my goodness, I loved it. Missouri at that time, this was a couple of decades ago, Missouri had a program where enhancing Missouri's instructional technology network. And so I was one of the very first EMIS teachers, and I had 2-to-1 in 2000. I had 2-to-1 computers, and that was huge. So then loved teaching, and had the opportunity. At that point, Missouri had a program called the STAR program, and it was select teachers as regional resources. Had the chance to be trained by national trainers, and then a year of sabbatical where I went out and I had the opportunity to lead PD in our region for free with about 40 different regional schools. And the whole time I was doing that, I missed my classroom so much. I love teaching, but I realized good teachers don't go to schools with not great principals. And I felt like a shift needed to happen there. So I did not have a degree in administration, but went ahead and started a transitional program, became an elementary principal. I became a principal in a time of No Child Left Behind. We were with a failing school that was announced 2 weeks before I started my principalship. And that, as you can imagine, that really was great for school culture. We had to send a letter out to all of our students to say, hey, we're a failing school. The other 2 elementaries in town are not. So if you would like to move schools, you can. That definitely was not something that was great. But we worked together as a team in our school, and we were one of the first schools in Missouri to come off of that list. But as you can imagine, this was a time where I felt like we were still driven by standardized tests. And so in 2014, I was pretty burnt out and went to the National Principal Conference. Didn't even want to go, but it was in Nashville. So I said, hey, that's a fun place. I like Nashville. At least I'll have fun, even if this conference doesn't work out. And I was introduced at that conference to an amazing elementary principal named Jay Billy. And Jay asked me as we were sitting there, he said, are you on Twitter? I said, I have a Twitter account, but I don't want one more way of finding out what's going on with the Kardashians. You know, I Facebook, I struggle with, but that's how I know. My in-laws know that I keep my children alive through Facebook. So he said, you are not following the right people. He grabbed my phone and he said, okay, you've got 40 people you're following and you cannot, this is not going to work. He said, do you know Todd Whitaker is on Twitter? All of these authors that we've been sitting and talking about, they're on Twitter. Why are you not following them? So he got me right into it. And the other thing he did was he said, have you heard of Dave Burgess? Dave is going to do a Teach Like a Pirate Skype tomorrow from the conference center, and you should come listen to him. And at that point, I was a little skeptical. I've heard about Teach Like a Rockstar, Teach Like a Champion, and Teach Like a Hair's on Fire. And so Teach Like a Pirate, I wasn't really sure, but like pirates. So I listened to Dave, and at that moment, my life was changed. I said, why am I not leading the way that I taught? Why am I not leading? And why am I taking myself so seriously as a leader? You know, every day in the classroom I had fun. We had so much fun every single day. But for some reason, when I moved positions, I thought I had to become this very serious high heel wearing person that never had fun in my role. And so I, at that point, really was a pivotal moment in my life. One of the things that Dave encouraged more than anything is creating that professional learning network. And that's what I want to talk to you guys a little bit today. So I'm going to screen share with you and talk to you a little bit about how we can use social media to connect and to also showcase the amazing. Before I get to that, I want to share. So I went back to my school that year. I was like on fire. It was an amazing year. And then in January, my superintendent said, hey, would you like to move to the middle school? I said, no, thank you. Middle school is definitely not the time of my life. And so I don't want to go back there. And they scare me a little bit. And so he was persistent. And I really dug deep and realized, you know, I always pitch out there, you know, push comfort zones, to be a risk taker. But then I realized I was not modeling that by being willing to do that. And so moved up to middle school, and same type of thing. We were not in a place, we were at 55% APR, which is the way our state kind of rates schools. That's out of 100. So no matter what grading scale you're on, that doesn't work well. So we had that same journey again here, and we had to tell our story. It was not optional that we didn't tell our story, because the story that was being told about our school in public, especially in a small town like we live in, was not the story of what really was happening. So it was imperative that we did that. So through what I'm going to share with you guys today, it's really a two-pronged way of why social media is so important to us. And we're going to really look at connections, and then also that piece of telling our story. So hopefully I can go right over here and screen share with you. Makes me so excited when I do this right the first time. There we go. Okay. So here we go. We're going to talk a little bit about what the hashtag, and I actually have the bit.ly on here for you, because there's lots of resources that I'm sharing on here as well. So right here, bit.ly/KYGO hashtag. Make sure everybody has a chance to grab that. And if you definitely could take a picture and go to it later if you'd like to. All right. So as you notice, I did go purple in honor of you all. I don't have a purple pirate shirt, but took this and made it go purple just for you all. So what are our goals for today? First of all, we're going to talk a little bit about the why. I'm going to share some resources and then encourage you for the try. What are you going to try out? This quote by Kevin Honeycutt is definitely has been a game changer for me. To have thousands of fellow minds in your pocket via mobile devices is to have an immensely unfair advantage over humans who think alone. That is a quote that I notice as I'm interviewing new teachers. I can tell pretty quickly which teachers are connected via Twitter or some type of social media and which aren't. It's definitely evident. You can tell. I mean, they have that unfair advantage. As I said, this is our mantra of Lead Like a Pirate. It's culture first, culture next, culture always. We can't do what we do well without a strong culture. So for those of you that are like, okay, where do I start? This is it right here. And if you are, I hope that one thing that I hope that you can do, this is extra, it's a bonus, it's not in the presentation, is if you are a classroom teacher, or if you are a paraprofessional, or if you are a technical or technology integration specialist, please don't ever say, I'm just a teacher, I can't affect culture. You are a teacher, and you've got to own that proud, loud, and realize that every single person in the schoolhouse and outside of the schoolhouse that's connected to your school affects that culture. And as Todd Whitaker says, whichever culture piece is the most negative, that's the one that the school takes over. So it's so important that we focus on that. And again, like I said, your community wants to know what's happening in your school, and you've got to be the one that's telling your story. And as I share this with you, you're going to find out I was the lead storyteller. I was that lead storyteller. However, I was able very quickly to hand the reins over, and now our students, our staff, our parents are the ones being able to tell our story, and the story is accurate. Also, as Dave and Shelley say, we have to relentlessly pitch and promote the positive things that happen on our campuses. We are all in that PR department. So enthusiasm is contagious. We have to make sure that we showcase this. And for you, it may be different ways. So blogging, potentially, Instagram, video newsletters, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Those are just some of the forums that you could use. So here's how we use social media at FMS. I know I'm one that I always want to see it in action. I love going to conferences and workshops and things like that. But whenever a presenter tells me something and they haven't used it with real kids, I get a little skeptical. So I want to make sure and open the doors to what we do at Fulton Middle School. First of all, Twitter. Who updates our Twitter? Our staff, our students, and some of our parents get on and tweet to our hashtag. I'm all about hashtags because that way, when you're all tweeting to a common hashtag, it brings us together, just like we're doing right now with Kentucky Go Digital. So the purpose of that one is sharing our story, sharing announcements, professional development, and the audience is our staff, our educators, our families, and our community. I'm going to be really honest with you. Our parents aren't on Twitter that much, but our kids, especially at the middle level and high school level, are starting to get on there more. Our state reps are on there. One of our state reps that's how he connected with me, was through Twitter. He saw what I was posting, connected with me, asked to come to our school. And now I'm able to have that personal connection with him and be able to talk to him face to face because of that. We also use Facebook. Facebook, for those of you, you probably know, this is the mom genes of social media. Our kids are not there. Sometimes they know about it, but our kids really are not on Facebook. But who updates Facebook at our school? We have a select group of folks that update that. Our administration, we have some staff members that do that as well. The purpose, again, is to share our story, announcements, and the audience is our families and our community. I've also shared our Facebook link with you there. Also, the power of Facebook Live. We started that venture this year after I had the chance to hear and read the work of Baruti Capelle. And it really, when you're able to put a voice, put a face together, it really helps develop those relationships. Pictures matter. You know, as I've transformed from the weekly newsletter that's just a Google Doc to a SMORE newsletter where there's pictures, where there's video, just don't ever underestimate how much that can affect your culture when parents can see you. They feel like they know you a little bit better. So I also included one of our very first Facebook Lives, our State of the School addresses from this year that you can check out as well. Instagram was where it was at, but now our kids have realized we're there and we're starting to take over there a little bit. But Instagram is where the majority of our Fulton Middle School students are. So I also included the link to our Instagram account. Our admin and staff also update that. Mainly, I'm going to be honest also that Instagram is not my safe place. I have it, I use it-ish, but my assistant principal, she completely owns Instagram. And so she's the one that takes care of that. And again, it's the same type of thing, the who, purpose, and audience. And then Snapchat. Now, Snapchat was a little bit of a risk we took. Most people think that Snapchat is evil, and it definitely can be used in evil purposes, but so can a pencil if we use it the wrong way. So we feel really strongly at our school, it's our job as the administrators, as the teachers, as the adults, to make sure that we're modeling positive digital citizenship and digital leadership, because there's a lot of negative happening that our kids consume. So how can we make sure and make that a priority? It's something that we teach intentionally weekly. We teach that as part of our advisory, but we also model it. So Snapchat, we use it. Our kids actually are the ones that update our Snapchat account. Our student council publicist is the one who does that, as well as our tech interns. And then we only do stories with the announcements. And again, it's mainly for the students. And again, for that, it's amazing how much the kids pay more attention when you have a Snapchat story of what's for lunch that day versus an email. And then, of course, we also have fun with Snapchat. So I included a little video that we did to welcome our kids back at the beginning of the year last year. So how does this work? So we tweet to our hashtag all day long. Our hashtag is FMS Teach. So we've got our kids, our students, our staff, everyone is tweeting to our hashtag all day long. And then the administrator or our tech teachers pull all of the tweets to Facebook and Instagram. And then the students update Snapchat with announcements. So we're really trying to hit all of those layers of our students, our staff, our families, and our community, which equals awesomeness. I will say that this is something that's become part of the way that we do business. So I don't do this when I get home. I do this as I go. The kids are used to seeing me with my phone in hand. I know how to disconnect, and I show them how to do that, because that's another thing that we struggle with a little bit, especially in middle school, is that your phone is a part of your body and not something that can be put down. So showing them how to do that. But then also, so I've told you a little bit about sharing the story, but this is our second why, is how do we connect as teachers? You guys remember I shared with you when I was burnt out, I was ready to not only change jobs, but change professions. I was so lonely as an administrator and felt like I didn't have support. And I've worked really hard to build this quote from George Couros as part of our culture. And so this is something that our teachers do every day. We typically, right now it's summer, so we don't have as much going on our hashtag, but we typically have 50 to 75 to 100 different tweets a day. 90% of our staff tweets. It is not something that is mandatory. We started out, of course, too, we had a compelling reason why to showcase what we were doing, because everyone thought we were doing nothing. So it was really important we had that. I think the hardest schools to get this to go in is when you're already kind of rocking, and people don't see a reason why we need to change. So for those of you that don't use TweetDeck is my, I love TweetDeck. Holy moly. Life would not probably go on for me without TweetDeck. I struggle struggle to use Twitter on its own. TweetDeck is the way that I'm able to handle chats. The way that I'm able to see what's going on. So this is just a screenshot of TweetDeck, and so it shows the different some of the different hashtags that I utilize here are Lead Lab hashtag, which is our community, our FMS Teach, which is our school community, and FPS Learn is our district community. Something that people ask me a lot is, well, what do you do? Like, how do you know that they might not, that what they post something bad on there? Well, this is a tool that I use, IFTTT. It's an app that I've downloaded on my phone, and I get a notification every time someone tweets to FMS Teach. So I get that on my phone, and I'm able to see quickly whether or not, there's something inappropriate. Now, I don't want to get cocky, but I've been very deep into social media use in our school for 4 years. We have TweetBeam that goes in our lobby. That is an app or an extension that shows every tweet on a TV screen. And we've not had anything so far, I'm knocking on wood, that has been inappropriate at all. So again, we got to, and this is another Todd Whitaker, I go back to Todd Whitaker, is we have to treat them as if they're good. He talks about it in Shifting the Monkey is, we got to make our rules for the best people and quit making rules for the what could go wrong. So some of you are like, okay, how do you encourage people to make this happen? When you're looking at showcasing to build culture, we have the golden hashtag. And if you click on this hyperlink here, you'll see how we do that. We have the golden hashtag, and it's presented to someone daily, weekly, however people do it, that are going above and beyond, living our mission of educating, engaging, and empowering all students at escalating levels. That's our mission. So it's not just fluff. How are you showcasing our mission? And so that golden hashtag passes from teacher to teacher to teacher to teacher. And then what's nice about that too is I'm not in charge of it, because sometimes I start things and then I can't keep up with it. So it's something that is empowered for our teachers. And then there's a menu of different prizes like Jeans Day and soda from Sonic and things like that are on there as well. So here is how we build our culture. Fulton Proud is a community hashtag that we work to build it with our community. And then professional development, you're doing it right now. If you follow this hashtag, and which this is a very, very busy hashtag as well, because I was looking at it the other day too. That's one way. Just follow that. If you have 10 minutes in your day, look at Kentucky Go Digital and find out what's happening. Of course, I talked about T-Lab and Lead Lab and Celebrate Monday, which I should be adding on all my tweets right now as well. Sean Galliard, who just put out a book called The Pepper Effect. It's all about how the Beatles, how much they're like educators and how much they can help you in education, but talked about how to reframe the way that we think about Mondays. Also shared just a few other hashtags there that are powerful to me. This is also linked here. So there is a video that is right on this hashtag that shows how we utilize Twitter in our building from the voices of our teachers. But for sake of time, I want to spare you from that right now. For those of you that are still like, I don't know why I should be engaged in Twitter. A couple weeks ago, I put out this tweet that said, hey, I'm working on a presentation on motivating learners that don't necessarily want to be motivated. What are some of your go-to strategies, resources, gurus, etc.? Hopefully I'll be able to go right back to this. So this is what happened after I tweeted that. I had 136 people engaged, 27 people reliking it or retweeting it. And then I have 52 people that commented on here giving me ideas of what I should do. And that's what's so awesome. Of course, there's your GIF, a random GIF every once in a while, but it talks, all of these different people. And so when I did this presentation last week for our district, it was amazing. I mean, that I could go right back to that and say, look, this is one of the reasons why Twitter is so powerful, is because you have that support. The other thing that we started doing here, I talked a little bit about our students tweeting, and that wasn't something that happened accidentally. We were very intentional. Todd Nesloni and Adam Welcome are two of my good friends, and Kids Deserve It. Todd talks about how he has Kid Tweet happening with fourth graders. And at that point I said, oh my goodness, why am I not having our kids tweet? Like I can't be living through fear of that. If fourth graders can do it, definitely middle schoolers can do it. So this is my friend Quentin, and Quentin was the first tech intern that I trained. We have our iPads plugged in, and I've already got them logged into Twitter. And I trained Quentin, and then he trained the rest of our tech interns that we have. Our tech interns are 10 to 12 students that exemplify the use of technology. They fix computers. They train teachers and other students. They create our announcements. They manage our social media. They do things like that. And so again, it goes back to this quote right here from Lead Like a Pirate is, people are less likely to tear down systems they help to build. When we let our kids really drive social media, it's amazing how the things that they can do. Also, Twitter in the classroom. That's another thing that I think people are scared of. So I have a video here of our amazing 7th grade team of ELA teachers, and they utilize Twitter as kind of in a chat form. For those of you that aren't sure what a chat is, a Twitter chat is something, there's different chats that happen, and I have a link later on that shows you all the different chats that go on in the education world. And it's like tonight is the TLAP chat from 8 to 9, and there is a moderator, and that person puts out questions. There's usually about 8 questions total for an hour, and then you just answer the questions as you go. So our teachers had participated in chats, and so they kind of created that chat atmosphere with their students in ELA, and it was one way they took close reading and pumped it up, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't get super excited to go do a close read. So they dress in costume, they would infuse technology to pump up their close reads. So that is another one. One of my other favorite George Couros' quotes is, we have to make that positive so loud that the negative almost becomes impossible to hear. It doesn't mean that negative doesn't happen, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't address negative. But when you spend your energy focusing on the positive, it's amazing how much more positive you see. I want to tell you one more story about, well, I'll probably tell you more stories because that's just how I am, but one more story about what happened in our school my first year. We were on social media immediately. It wasn't a requirement. Again, I hadn't even trained everybody, but I had sent some resources out, and people were on Twitter like crazy, going crazy, sharing the positive. On Facebook, which is where most of our parents were, going crazy, sharing all of the different things that we were doing in our school. Emails, newsletters. If you're not doing a newsletter in the secondary world, you should be, because that's the time when kids stop talking to their parents. So as educators in the secondary world, we have to over communicate to make up for that, and to give parents talking points so that they can reach out and make those connections with their kids. But we had, within the first couple months of me being principal at middle school, had a student that brought in 2 guns, and I had to go and remove those guns from the child's backpack. As you can imagine, scary, super scary. And I had never been trained in how to do that in principal school. And the police got there, it was overall that they were like pellet guns, things that weren't safe, but of course that doesn't matter. In the day and age we live in, it was just a tough time. And so I had to put that, and I put my messages out. Our central office helps me with that, but I typically feel like I'm the one that needs to get messages like that out to our parents to help build that rapport and help them know that, hey, if Mrs. Houf is emailing us, then everything's okay. And when I sent that out, I was ready for backlash, because again, coming off a really tough time before I became principal, every single email back that I got was positive. Thank you so much for taking care of our kids. Thank you so much. And that's the thing, when you take time to share the positive things happening, you really get that positive in return. So some roadblocks like I talked about is making sure that the right people are on your side with social media. For those, I have schools that I talk to that say we're not allowed to use that. Okay, well, why? Mine it down. Talk to the right people. Policies, again, too. Our policy is pretty easy to handle. If parents don't want their child's picture or video on any of our mailings, so not just Twitter, but also the newspaper, they have to write a letter every year. I have one student out of 550 that cannot have her picture taken. And so she gets a smiley face over her picture, or I blur her face out whenever she would take pictures with her involved. Or I also try to get kids from the back. I try not to always get their faces. And I try really hard to ask the kids as well, model what we expect, that it's not good to take pics. It's not great to take pictures of people that aren't sure of that. You want to also make sure and get the products to work. We are also one-to-one with Chromebooks, but our Chromebooks initially, Twitter was blocked. So if you're going to work with staff, make sure that you have that unblocked and make it easy for them to get to. Here are some resources for you. So if you are wanting to get started with Twitter, this is a link to a s'more that I created that just helps you on getting started. Again, the why, because I didn't have the why. I had a Twitter account with no why, no idea. It's like having a car but no place to go. And then once I realized the why behind it, it made a huge difference. Advanced Twitter, so looking at pushing it to the next level. Matt Miller has a quick short video here. And of course, the amazing Casey Bell. So pumped that she's joining today too. So she's also got a hashtag database. So if you're looking for different hashtags, there's a hashtag for pretty much anything. So if you're a 4th grade teacher, if you're a tech specialist, if you are a reading specialist, I mean, there's a hashtag for that for sure. And even more resources for you as well. I believe you spoke to me greatly when you were talking about silos, Melody. And again, the kids in Kentucky and Missouri, they're kids. And so really, they're all our kids. So there's no reason why we shouldn't share out the great things happening. So here are a bunch of other things. I especially like some of these visual resources here. If I'm going to, we were a PBIS school, and we had our site visit this year, and got a 100% on our site visit, which is awesome. But I could put that out in a newsletter. No. I got on Canva. I made a big old Canva poster that had a big old 100% in the middle of it. And I basically made a trophy to show that we received 100% on that visit. So using visual when you're able to, because it just makes a difference. Some of my fave go-tos to help with this, Eric Schinniger's book was the very first one that I read about digital leadership, pushed my paradigms and definitely helped me be better. Innovator's Mindset, I've already quoted George quite a bit, but again, pushing. If you have principals that are not necessarily sure how to handle all of this, this is a great read for them as well. Of course, Lead Like a Pirate. Of course, I would also push that one. Your School Rocks, so tell people. This is another great book on how to pitch and promote the things going on. You can't go wrong with Casey. Casey's book is truly amazing. And what I love about Casey is she puts stuff out every day to make us better. Social media, moving from citizenship to leadership. How can we really build leaders in our kids? Brand Ed by Eric Schinniger and Trish Rubin helps us really telling our story, but building our brands. And then 140 Twitter Tips for Educators is a great book with great pictures if you're trying to get started on Twitter. So I want to stop a little bit before, if we have time for questions. Here is my contact information. You can please follow me, and I will work hard to follow you back. And then if you have questions, you can always shoot me a direct message. You can also email me, but I know probably like a lot of you guys, email is not my favorite medium, but I definitely will get back to you if you get in touch with me. I'd be happy to do that. Okay, now I got to get back out of here. Yay. There we go. Awesome. Am I still here? Yay. All right. So Melody, do we have any questions? What would you do now?
Yeah, so I'm looking at just a lot of positive chat on our YouTube, Beth. I mean, you really, of course, I knew you would not disappoint. You've got lots of positivity going and lots of inspirations here and ideas. Guys, if you've got questions for Beth, you want to throw those up on the YouTube live chat. We've got a couple of minutes. Lots of people loving your ideas of the golden hashtag and your resources. Looking here to see if there are any questions. We'll link, Beth, if you don't mind, your presentation with your resources. I can grab that for you, and guys, we'll link that onto our agenda for the day, so you'll have access to those if you didn't have a chance to grab them when she was presenting. Let's see. I think everybody's just super excited, Beth. I don't know that we have any questions.
Excited. It's hard when I can't see everybody's face to know if I'm talking too much or too quickly, but
no, you're doing great. Now, so that's one of the things I think I was most nervous about today, is not being able to like physically connect with everyone. So, but the hashtag's blowing up, and so is the YouTube chat. So, there is one question here. Who in your school is a part of the digital leadership team?
All right. So, I'm hearing some bad stuff on
Here, I'll mute myself.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, there we go. So we have the way our leadership team is set up is we don't have like just digital leadership. We really look at it being leadership in general. So we have a few different ways of doing that. We have our building leadership team. Our building leadership team represents a person from each content area, as well as each grade level, and then a counselor, an interventionist, myself, and my other assistant principal. And then we have problem solving team, which is another unit that really looks at data and things like that. And then We have a district technology team that includes the principals from all the buildings, the tech integration specialists, the tech folks, as well as I believe there is at least one student on that team. And then we have a teacher from each building also. We have student leadership teams within our building as well, and they're the ones that really help us with everything, especially digital citizenship, and leadership in general. But we have Hornet Ambassadors, which is a student leadership team that is a cross-section of every social group in our school. We also have Stuco, but Stuco, and I love Stuco. They're amazing kiddos, and my oldest is a Stuco kid, but there are a lot of groups that aren't represented necessarily in Stuco, so that's where our ambassadors come in, and they're the ones that help us figure out what, as we're doing initiatives, like we're adopting a new benchmark for reading. We've been using STAR. They hate it. They hate basically anything that they haven't had a chance to say that they like. So we brought in NWEA and a couple other benchmark tools, and they sat in, each grade level had their own focus group that they signed up for. And they're like, yes, we want this NWEA that will give us better data on ourselves. And I was just like, what is going on right here? So really including kids as you can, it makes a huge difference. And the rep from NWEA said, I've never had kids sit in on things before, and their voice is the most important. So we got to make sure that we amplify it. Our tech interns that I talked about, that is kiddos that are interested. That's part of their schedule. It's an actual class. So we have an intervention block that is called Academic Lab that all students get, which is kind of like a third Explo. And so they're placed based on what they need. And then we also, at that point, they have, they can be a tech intern, a band intern, a library intern, or an office intern. And so then they help lead the different initiatives within our building. So the tech interns, that is our technology teacher as well as those teachers. So hope I answered that a little bit. But one thing that we try really hard to do is we try not to, it's not about the technology, it's about great leadership, and then utilizing technology to amplify.
Absolutely, Beth. Thank you so much. You just, you hit on a whole lot of goodness right there. So thank you. Answered that question and then some. And I'm already, my wheels are turning here. I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing this. So thank you once again, Beth. It has been an absolute privilege and honor to have you here this morning. You were doing this just as a favor and for free. So guys, if you all have not connected with Beth on Twitter, do that. Get Lead Like a Pirate, Teach Like a Pirate. You all will not be disappointed. So thank you so much, Beth.
Thank you, guys. Honored to be here with you today. Have an awesome rest of your day. I will be connecting after I get the dog dropped off. I will be connecting and keeping up. So please feel free, and I will get back to you.
Yes, thank you. If you guys have questions that you didn't get answered, Beth is clearly very awesome about helping others and doing that. So connect with her, and she'll help you out. Thanks, Beth.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye. All right. So last thing, guys, before we head out to our morning sessions. Wow. I am super pumped up as if I wasn't already. That was some rockin' awesome stuff right there. So last things before we head out to our AM sessions. And by the way, those leader teams know that we're running behind. So don't worry, you're not missing out. They'll wait on us to finish, give you a quick minute to get logged on to that next link and start in those. So speaking of the agenda, you can go to this bit.ly, KYGOD Digital Virtual. You got sent that in an email. That is your go-to resource for the day. That's where you're going to see all of the sessions. That's where all the YouTube live links are going to be. I think that since you're here right now, you're probably rocking it. Just to give you a quick overview of the day, this morning, those connect and share groups, those are divided up by role. So you're going to be sharing and connecting with a team of leaders that share your role in education. So we're super excited about those. Lunchtime, surprisingly, it's on your own. We will not be eating together today, guys. I'm sorry to disappoint. So 11:30 to 12:30, make sure your brain gets some food, and then be back and tune into us at 12:30 for our afternoon keynote. Miss Casey Bell with Shake Up Learning. She's going to rock it out for us this afternoon. And then our PM share and create sessions, those are a little bit different. Those are divided up by digital tools. And so you can kind of peruse those and see which ones you want to join in there. So that's kind of what's going on with all of that. And I just want to leave you with one thought. This is our first ever Kentucky Go Digital. We're already kind of working out some kinks, so I appreciate you all being patient with all that. But we're flying closer to the sun today, guys. And when we pitched this idea, and there were things like, well, how does virtual PD work? How do you know people will actually join in? Do people actually learn that way? How will this? How? Well, the answer to how is yes. You think about it, we've got 30 Kentucky ed tech leaders collaborating and creating this day for you all. We have over 500 Kentucky educators who've agreed to fly closer with us today, 2 national authors who are keynoting. I think all that adds up to one huge yes. By the way, all this is free. Did I mention that? So really want to start getting you all pumped up, share your learning and your selfies on KYGO Digital, and you all enjoy your AM Connect and Share sessions, and I'll see you back at 12:30 for our afternoon keynote.